Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is February 20th, 2024, and La Liga have officially released the new salary limits for next season. And no surprise, Barcelona's wage limit has been reduced. Also, Atletico Madrid have entered the race for Mason Greenwood. And finally, Barcelona are reportedly tracking an incredibly promising attacking midfielder in the German league. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and before we begin with the news, just a quick reminder to make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. All of this helps this channel continue to grow. Also, if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag. They're currently running some pretty cool promotions. If you are looking to place any sports bets, not only on Barcelona matches, but on all sporting events all around the world, make sure you hit the Bet Us, where they're also having a pretty cool promotion for all new signups. Both links for Kickback and Bet Us are down below in the description. Now, I begin with the news that La Liga have officially released a wage limit for all the Spanish club leagues. And as it was expected, Barcelona's wage limit has been reduced even further. Now, as you can see from the chart on your screen that La Liga officially released today, Barcelona's wage limit has been reduced from 270 million euros all the way down to 204 million euros. So that's approximately a 66 million euro reduction in Barcelona's salary limit. And when you look at last year, that's even a bigger reduction, because in February of 2023, Barcelona had a wage limit of 648 million euros, and now it's down to 200. So that's a 450 million euro salary reduction, which is going to be incredibly complicated for Barcelona in the summer transfer market. And this was an expected news because, as I reported several days ago, Barcelona had sat down with Javier Tebas and discussed the wage limit for the summer, so Barcelona can begin planning for the summer transfer market ahead of time. And it was already expected that Barcelona's wage limit gonna be reduced even further, all the way down to 200 million euros. And it's exactly what's happened. And it's gonna be a challenge for Barcelona, because even though the club have done an amazing job reducing the wage bill all the way to 400 million euros. It was 600 plus last season. It was at 800 million under Bartomeu, and they've reduced it all the way to 400, so half. But despite all the hard work, that still puts us at 200 million euros above the wage limit. So that means that until Barcelona reduce their wage bill to the wage limit imposed on them by La Liga, until they're not going to be able to achieve the one-to-one rule. So in order to achieve the one-to-one rule, Barcelona will definitely have to first obtain those 40 million euros from the sale of Barca Vision that they sold to Libero. They didn't get the money, but now they're looking for new investors. And of course, Barcelona will have to make 2, maybe 3 big sales. And of course, we have heard about several names, including Rafinha, Christensen, Koundé, and maybe even Frankie de Jong if he decides to leave. But Barcelona will definitely have to make some big sales in the summer, plus get those 40 million euros for Barca Vision in order to achieve the one-to-one rule. Otherwise, signing new players is going to prove incredibly difficult, given that Barcelona are over their current wage limit set by La Liga at 200 million euros. And speaking of the summer transfer market, it's reported that Barcelona are currently tracking a very young and promising attacking midfielder out in Germany by the name Raúl Paula. Now, Raúl Paula is a 20-year-old attacking midfielder who currently plays for VfB Stuttgart. It's reported that he's described as someone who has excellent technical abilities. He's a player who's very versatile and can play in multiple positions. And so far, he's been having a really good season with Stuttgart 2, which is the equivalent of Barca Athletic, where so far he has scored 13 goals and provided 5 assists. Now, Raúl Paula has trained a lot with the first team this season. He has been called up to several matches, but he has yet to debut with the first team of Stuttgart. And there are several clubs after him, both in Germany and the Premier League. And it's reported that Raúl Paula is looking to leave Stuttgart because he's not happy there. And it's reported that his dream is to arrive in Barcelona because it's his childhood dream, according to the player. Now, Raul Paula's contract does expire in the summer of 2026, so we're going to have to see whether Barcelona will decide to make a move for the young player. And speaking of young attackers, it's reported that Atletico Madrid have entered the race for Mason Greenwood. Now, Mason Greenwood is currently on loan with Getafe from Manchester United, where he's having a pretty good season in the Spanish league, having scored so far 7 goals and provided 5 assists. And Barcelona were tracking the 22-year-old winger, considering whether to sign him or not. And it's reported that now Atletico Madrid have contacted Mason Greenwood's agent because they're very interested in signing him in the summer transfer market. Now, it's reported that Mason Greenwood will cost around 40 million euros. So if Barcelona do want to sign the English player, they will have to pay the 40 million euros and they will have to compete with a Madrid-based club. But of course, there is the other angle after this operation, where it's reported that Manchester United were considering offering Mason Greenwood plus some cash in exchange for Frankie de Jong. But of course, in order for that to happen, Frankie de Jong is going to want to leave the club and he's going to want to go to Manchester United, because for now, Barcelona want to keep Frankie de Jong in the club. And for now, Frankie de Jong is also saying that he wants to stay in Barcelona. Now, we will end today's video with the interview that Ilkay Gundogan just gave, and where he discussed several topics, and I've picked a few just to highlight that interview. Starting when Ilkay Gundogan was asked about which club puts more pressure on him, whether it's Barcelona or Manchester City. And in answering his question, he gave a pretty cool story, so I decided to highlight it for you. But Ilkay Gundogan said, "I don't see too much difference. I put the pressure on myself. I'm smart enough to know when I've had a good or bad game. I look at myself even when I get criticism from family or friends. You could have been better today, Ilkay. My mother is the worst. My parents accompanied my older brother and me everywhere from a very young age, and they still follow my career today. My mother is always the most critical. You aren't good today." So Ilkay Gundogan saying there's not much difference in regards to the pressure between Barcelona and Manchester City, because he's the one who puts the pressure on himself. But then telling that really cool story how he says that his friends and family always, add to the pressure because they criticize him when he does bad, and obviously they encourage him when he does well. But he says the worst one was his mother, and I thought that was really funny because that reminds me of my mother, who's always, on there on top of me, even though I am an adult now. But of course, that's mothers. That's why we love them, because they're always going to care about your success no matter how old you get. Now, Ilkay Gundogan also talked about the Champions League and the match against Napoli tomorrow, and in regards to that, the German midfielder said, "Yes, of course, we are. We need these games to raise our level. What the Champions League is all about, competing, demanding the maximum. I love the kind of pressure. We are traveling to Naples to get a good result. I'll be honest, I see other teams with more possibilities and experience, but if we qualify for the quarterfinals, we're in special territory. Who could have expected Inter to reach the final last year? I'm a realist, but I also know it's difficult for everyone." So Ilkay Gundogan excited for tomorrow's match and to compete in the Champions League, and of course does have his hopes to make it to the quarterfinals. And finally, Ilkay Gundogan was asked about why he ended up swapping Barcelona for Manchester City. And in regards to that, the German midfielder said, "It's football. You compete. I've been in the business for a long time, and winning is not something you get for free. I've had more successful years in my career than successful ones. You have to fall to get up and appreciate success more. Football is like life." So really cool words by Ilkay Gundogan explaining his decision to change Manchester City, because he says you have to fall in order to get up, and that makes you appreciate success more. And that just shows the greatness that the greatness of thought, or the greatness of mind that Ilkay Gundogan possesses. Because that's something I talked about in previous videos, when a lot of people say, well, why is this player leaving that club when he's winning a lot of trophies? And that's the thing about great players. Great players always look for a new challenge. Great players, always want to achieve something that's difficult to achieve. They're not just happy coasting and just winning trophies easily. They want the challenge. They want to challenge themselves. They want to keep growing. They want to keep getting better. And that's exactly what Ilkay Gundogan is saying, because he could have easily stayed in Manchester City, continued to win trophies with no problems, but instead he came to a struggling Barcelona, because this is what champions are made from. They're always looking for a challenge, and the bigger the challenge, the better, because they know that once they conquer that challenge, it's the best feeling in the world. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.